Welcome back to Where Did I Put My Glasses? The podcast where we talk about life's confusing moments, small wins, and everything in between. I am your host, Carmen, and today we are going to talk about something that is really personal to me. And that's why I'm just laid back, chilling. I have my coffee. I hope you have your coffee or your wine, depending on when you're listening, or water. No pressure. But we're going to talk about something that is really personal to me, something called functional freeze. Have you heard of it? If you haven't, we're going to get into it. I have firsthand experience, and I wanted to share um, this with you all. Um, I just want to start out and point out I am not a psychologist. I am a speech pathologist by profession and have my PhD in health sciences. I naturally love to research things that I'm interested in. And as of recently, well, over the past year and a half, I've discovered through therapy and through life, I have been suffering from functional freeze. And it has also been a topic of conversation amongst my different friend groups. So I decided to not only work on myself, but to learn more about it and share it with you. So I need a sip. This mocha latte is amazing. Okay. So picture this. You have an expansive to-do list. Like it is extensive. It could be as long as your fashion receipt, if you're me. It could be post-its, your journal, just a huge list, a piece of paper, right? You sit down, you're ready to tackle it. You have your coffee, you have your workspace set up, your laptop, your iPad, your notepads, and then you sit there, you open it up, and nothing. You just freeze. You're staring at this list like a deer in headlights. And that productive mindset you were aiming for, gone. Ever been there? I have. That's functional freeze. And trust me, it's not fun. So, what is exactly functional freeze? Let's break it down. Um, Functional freeze is when you hit this mental block in situations that demand action or decision making, but instead of powering through it, your mind just kind of stalls. You're physically there, you're ready to act, but mentally it's like your brain just shut down. And here's the thing, it's not always dramatic, especially like for me. It's not like there's times where it's really dramatic, right? And I can't get out of bed at all. Like my brain is there, but I cannot move. Um, but for some, you might be, or you checking your emails or scrolling social media, convincing yourself you're gearing up to get started. Trust me, I do that all the time. Um, but really, you're stuck. Your body is in go mode, but your brain has quietly exited stage left somewhere. I feel like I've been talking all day. That water just hit the spot. Unlike a fear based freeze response, functional freeze is different, right? It's quieter. It's more like your brain is saying, you know what? I'm overwhelmed and I'm opting out for a moment. It's just like, I'm not doing it. um, it's subtle but powerful. And if you're anything like me, it can hit you at the most inconvenient times. And I'll be real with y'all, this happens to me more than I like to admit, especially since being laid off. And right now has been the time for me to really buckle down and do all the things I set out to do. I have been so excited to try new things and do all the things that I promised myself I would do during this time. And whew, functional freeze has hit me hard. I'd wake up with big plans like job applications, podcast editing, updating my resume, looking at my Upwork, and somehow I'd end up reorganizing and watering my plants for the hundredth time. Or binge watching something on Netflix. Right now, that has been Resident Alien, which I'm enjoying for like the second time. I really love that show. If you love comedy, Resident Alien is it. I'm like obsessed. But I don't need to keep watching it. Okay? But I'll find a way to keep watching it and watching it. Um and like this week for instance, I typically plan out what content I'm going to make, record and edit, um, especially for the podcast, and work on my course. As you know, I'm doing my data science course. And for some reason, my brain would not allow me to do this, which was crazy because I made sure I showed up for lunch with friends. I went to bars and to wine tasting, game nights. I even went to the Balloon Museum at the Palace of Fine Arts. Oh, I had such a great time. It's so beautiful. Um, I made sure I went line dancing and Pilates. But when it came to planning, recording, editing, and coursework, I would get to my computer and freeze. It's like, it's crazy. And it's like I couldn't do anything. However, I'm drinking and dancing and enjoying life. It doesn't make sense. But seriously, I beat myself up about it. You have time, Carmen. You have space. This is the time where you should be doing all of these things. Why are you doing them? Right? And that inner critic, oh, she's loud. She's loud. And trust me, my friends will tell you, my family will tell you, I get in their ass. So imagine how it is with them. It's 10 times worse with myself. My inner critic is 10 times harder on me. Um, but what I've realized is that the freeze isn't about laziness. It is a signal. My brain is waving a little flag and it's saying we've hit capacity. And that's okay. And I'm learning that. And what I had to learn first is why is this even happening? Right? Why is this happening? So, functional freeze is rooted in stress, first and foremost. Our nervous system is trying to protect us. What's protect? Protect. You know what I meant. Our nervous system is trying to protect us. Even when there's no danger in the traditional sense, when you've got too much coming at you, deadlines, decisions, bills, responsibilities, healing. I am in my process. I'm in my healing era. Grieving. I'm grieving me. For me, I'm grieving the loss of my job, grieving the loss of my desire for my career, my passion for my career. I'm still grieving the loss of my best friend, even though it's been a few years. Just life. And your brain doesn't always want to choose between fight or flight. Sometimes it just shuts down. And sometimes the stress it isn't obvious. It's that it's like a low hum in the background, the pressure to be on and to be creative, to produce, to succeed. It's exhausting. So, yeah, your brain might hit pause, and not because you're broken, but because you're human. And again, I know this because I didn't realize I actually didn't realize it until last year. Um, for most of my adult years, I have always had several jobs. A girl always had several jobs. I have, especially in my profession as a speech pathologist, um, I've made sure I have like private clients, PRNs, and which takes a lot out of you mentally. Sometimes you are cognitively and empathically fatigued, and my SLPs out there, you already know. Um, Also, between teaching adjuntly and working in an outpatient and inpatient setting, which is like a clinic and hospital setting, like going back and forth in one day, finishing up my dissertation and graduating. And I was also trying to find my way out of a narcissistic relationship. And woo, as you know, that is hard. So I was exhausted. And there were signs. I just was not paying attention to them, honestly. Um, it started off with oversleeping. I wasn't hearing my alarm. Um, I wasn't sleeping. Sometimes I would just be awake, but not able to sleep. Not wanting to get out of my bed or socialize. My phone would be on Do Not Disturb for days, and I would just ignore people. Um, Sometimes I had no appetite. I would even turn the TV on and just stare at it. Not watching it, just staring at it, and then doom scrolling. So those were the signs that functional freeze was coming or was there. It was there, but I didn't know until it hit me, and it became disassociation, and I had to seek help. So functional freeze doesn't look the same for everyone. For me, lately, after I got the help, um, it's staring at a blank screen or getting hyper focused on the wrong task. I love that. That's my favorite thing to do. Like answering emails instead of starting what I need to do, or um, it might look like sleeping all day. I love that. That's my favorite thing to do. I love to sit there, lay there, and sleep there. Or again, endlessly scrolling on social media. And I'm not even getting anything out of it. I'm just scrolling. Unless it's like recipes. I'm getting out of something out of that. And don't get me wrong. I've spent many days working just as hard as I've had mindlessly scrolling on social media and TikTok. And then I beat myself up about it. So between hyper focusing on the wrong thing and social media, some days do not stand a chance. I will blink my eyes from Monday, blink, and it's Thursday. And I did nothing that was on any of my lists. And then I'm hard on myself. But then sometimes it looks productive, which is what makes it tricky. So, like for instance, you might clean your whole apartment or whole house instead of making the phone calls that you were supposed to make. Um, you tell yourself, "Well, I'm doing something right. My house is spotless. My home is spotless." But deep down, you know you're avoiding something else, what you were supposed to do, and it looks productive, but essentially it's not because what needed to get done didn't. And so, through therapy and learning and reading and researching, I was like, okay, Carmen, now you have to get out of it. You have to break out of this, and which I'm still learning, right? And here are a few things that have helped me, and some, like I said, I'm still working on through therapy and working through these little steps. But then I'm making sure I take the time to give myself grace. And so I wanted to share them with you. The first one is acknowledge it. First, just name it. Say it out loud. I'm in a freeze. It sounds simple, but it creates awareness and it reduces shame. You stop fighting yourself. Like, for example, on Tuesday, I realized, okay, I'm in a freeze. There's nothing I can do. Stop trying to make myself do it. Another step is break it down, right? Pick one thing, not 10, just one. I have a habit of having like 20 things on for a day. That's not enough time. to do all those things. So instead of apply for 5 jobs, make it one. One job that sounds interesting, and let the momentum build up from there. Now, if you get into the momentum and you're like, okay, I can fill out more, that's okay. Let's start with just one. My favorite of all the speechy in me is using a timer. I use a timer in therapy to help transition through activities and tasks, and I found it useful for myself. I'll set a timer. Say I'm working on my course, I'll set the timer for an hour, and then I'll tell myself, oh, I'm going to do this thing for 1 hour, and then I can stop after it if I want. 9 times out of 10, once you get started, you keep going, but it just gives you the time to get started. Like, I have this amount of time. Um, and sometimes I set several timers. Like, okay, so an hour for my course, 10 minutes to take a break, and then an hour again for content planning or recording. So it's up to you, whatever works best for you. Another one is move your body. As you know, I'm on my fitness journey, so I love going for walks every day. That's my favorite thing. Stretching, putting on music and dancing. I love music. I I I'm not the greatest dancer, but I love music. I'm not saying, turn your life into like a little TikTok montage. You have people be doing their little TikTok dances. Trust me, because I can't unless you want to, and you can. But shifting your body can shift your brain. And so I take those daily walks. I put on my music. I relax during my breaks. That really helps me. And um, another one that I want to say is has been the best for me is talking it out. Call a friend, not to vent, but to say, "Hey, I'm stuck." Sometimes just saying it out loud is enough to just shake you loose. Like, for instance, I have a friend, I'm not going to say her name, but she knows who she is. Whenever I'm stuck, I call her and say, I have to do X, Y, and Z, and I can't do it. And we just start talking, and I end up getting through it and starting, and then we hang up. It means so much to me. And listen, if you try all these things and you're still stuck, that's okay too. You might need rest, real rest, not not numbing through alcohol, not avoidance, actual restoration. Ask yourself, what do I need right now? Maybe it's a nap. Well, I love naps, so I'll find a way to take a nap every day. Maybe it's water. Are you drinking water? Maybe it's silence. Maybe it's just someone telling you that you're doing enough. And my friends have been great for that, and my family as well. You are not a machine. You are a person. And sometimes breaking the freeze means stopping altogether and starting again tomorrow. I had to do this several times with today's episode. I just couldn't get through it. Um, I want to leave you with this. Functional freeze isn't failure, it's information. It's a clue from our body. It is a sign that something needs attention and that you need compassion. So instead of saying, oh, I froze again, right? Because that happens to me. That's what I'm like, oh, I'm froze. I can't do anything. Um, just say, my brain needed a break. Let me figure out what's behind that. Journal, call a friend, make a therapy appointment. Be curious, not critical, and gentle, not judgmental. No judging yourself. Thanks for tuning in to Where Did I Put My Glasses today? This has meant so much to me for sharing this with you all. And hopefully it gave you a little bit of understanding of me and what I've been going through. If today's episode resonated with you, please share it with someone who might need to hear this. And while you're at it, subscribe and follow and give me 5 stars. You know you want to. Until next time, take a deep breath. Give yourself some grace. And remember, Sometimes all it takes is one step to break the freeze. Until next time, take care.